Hey you guys, so it's officially been just a little over a month since I decided to make some healthier changes in my life. And I weighed myself because I'm only weighing myself once a month just so I don't get too caught up in the numbers and focus more on like inner change. And I lost 12 pounds. That's exciting. I mean, like I said, weight loss is not my focus, but it's really nice like to see something physical, like something I can look at and like see like a definite difference between the two numbers. And then like as you can see in this before and after picture, like there's a big change in just the way that I look too, which is awesome. Awesome to see. And so in this video, I just wanted to talk about kind of the process I've gone through and what I've done to lose 12 pounds in a month. And I just wanted to break it down into three categories or 3 steps in order. So the first thing that I did was I focused on making an inner change. The second thing that I did was I made specific and measurable and attainable goals that came kind of as a result of that inner change. And then the third thing that I did was I made an environment that was conducive to those goals. So first I'm probably gonna take a break after I talk about this first thing to go get some Diet Dr. Pepper because I'm so tired and I love Diet Dr. Pepper. So the first thing that I did was I focused on making an inner change. I don't want to say just mental because I feel like it was like not to get like new agey, or actually I'm not gonna apologize. I made a change in my heart and in my spirit, with my spirit. Yeah, so spiritual, emotional, mental change, and then everything else has kind of been a result of that. So I think for a while, like I knew that I needed to be making health changes just because I was so lethargic. I had a broken relationship with food and with my body, which I mean had gotten better over time, but it was still kind of broken. So I knew that I needed to make a change, and I was always looking for a change out there, you know, like I would look for a new diet book, or a new diet program to try. And when I didn't succeed, I'd blame something out there. I'd blame so-and-so for not supporting me, or I'd say, oh, it's just a bad program. But then like I had an epiphany, like change doesn't happen out there, change happens in here. So I really started to make efforts to change my heart. And I did this, so I started like watching motivational videos like on YouTube. I started, I don't know, giving more attention to my spiritual life, finding motivational quotes, things that just spoke to my heart and reminded me that I'm capable of doing hard things, that it's okay for me to dream big dreams, it's okay for me to try to challenge myself and push myself, and that I'm capable of achieving hard things. I kind of read different opinions on, you know, food and what our relationship with food should be, and how we should interact with food and how we should view our bodies, that helped me to, you know, see food in a different way. You know, I for the longest time seen food as the enemy, you know, like I was always fighting against food, and it was something I was always thinking about. Like it was kind of two extremes. Either I was like, oh my gosh, I can't eat this, I can't eat that, I have to be so good, no sugar, no carbs, no whatever, which is so unhealthy. Like I was just consumed with these little nitpicky things that just consumed my time, right? And then the other extreme was like, I guess in response to that extreme was, or to the first extreme was, well, screw you, like I'm gonna eat whatever I want, watch me eat this whole cake because I'm a strong independent woman, diets can't control me, you know, big is beautiful. And big is beautiful, don't get me wrong, like I think all body sizes are fantastic, but like I had that mentality because I was feeding an addiction, you know, I was making all these excuses to feed an addiction. That's really what it was. So yeah, I just had these two extremes of unhealthy relationships with food. And so finally I like started to see food in a different way, started to see it as fuel, and you know, it's a blessing, it's something we should be grateful for. You know, how lucky I am to, you know, have a way to fuel my body, and you know, something I can enjoy, something I can enjoy with family and friends. So yeah, and then, you know, starting to see being more grateful for my body. You know, I'm grateful to have a body that you know, I can run, I can walk, I can give people hugs, and yeah, so that was another mental change I had. Yeah. So that's the end of talking about mental change. I'm gonna go get a Diet Dr. Pepper, and I'll be back to talk about making specific goals. Okay, got my Dr. Pepper. So after realizing that change starts with inner change, and making inner change, and by the way, like, inner change isn't something that I've just done at the beginning of this month. Like, it's something I've consistently had to revisit and work on all throughout the month. And anyways, after like making that the foundation of my change throughout the month, the next thing I did was I made goals, specific, measurable, attainable, like time specific goals, and realistic. So in both eating and exercise. And I'll start going through my exercise goals. And they were pretty simple. So starting out the first week, I committed to doing 30 minutes of cardio Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And you know, I felt like that was something really doable. And if I wanted to do anything more than that, then awesome. But as long as I kept that commitment of Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 30 minutes, like, then I kept that promise to myself, right? And you know, just by keeping that small first promise, you know, it just built my confidence so much more to keep on adding to it. So I would add just a little bit more every week until, like, so this last week, my goal was to do 2 hours of cardio Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Plus, and then an hour of cardio Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then do strength exercises, doing arms on Monday, abs on Tuesday, and legs on Wednesday, and then repeat that again on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Right? And this week, like, I had a bit more free time on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so that's why I was able to do so much. Next week I'm gonna have a lot of like final projects and stuff, so my goals might be cut back just a little bit because I want to make sure that I'm making goals I can attain. Because I think that, you know, every time you don't quite attain a goal that you made, like, it just kind of puts a little chink in your confidence. So it's really important to, you know, that's why I started out with the smaller goals, like 30 minutes Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so I could hit those and be like, heck yeah, I can do this, and then build it up a little bit. And then for food, so the first week I didn't really make specific goals because, like I said, you know, I had a messed up relationship with food, and I was afraid of being in that one extreme when I was too controlling. So I just told myself I'm just gonna eat healthy. But the problem was that wasn't, like, how do I measure that? Like, what does healthy mean to me? So I decided that I needed to define that for myself in order to keep that commitment. So what I decided was healthy for me personally and attainable for me was eating small meals every like 2 to 3-ish hours, like depending on my schedule. Sometimes it was like it would be like a 4-hour break in between meals. Sometimes it was only 2 hours. And each meal being like roughly 200 to 300 calories. I wasn't super concerned about calories. I just wanted to make sure I was eating correct portion sizes and enough to fill me up without being overstuffed. And each meal consisted of a healthy lean protein with a healthy carb, whether that be fruit or vegetable or like a healthy whole grain type of thing. So I would eat one of those small meals every 2 to 3 hours. And then like have like maybe like a sugar-free popsicle or like a little snack like that throughout the day too. And if I was super hungry, then maybe I'd eat a little bit more. If I wasn't so hungry, not so much. So it was a combination of like listening to my body as well as having an organized, structured meal plan, which worked out really well for me because I wasn't in either of these extremes. You know, I wasn't eating like all the time to fuel an addiction, but then I wasn't like super consumed and thinking about food all day and what I gonna eat next and how many calories have I eaten. It was just a nice, organized, structured plan to follow for me. And then on Sundays, that's the only day that I counted calories because, like I said, I don't want to get caught up in the numbers and how many calories do I have left and all that stuff. But Sundays I did count calories because it was like my cheat day. Like, I hate the term cheat day, but that's what it was. That's what it is. And I allowed myself 2,000 to 2,500 calories. If I wanted, like some Sundays, I just kind of ate my normal every 2 to 3 hours lean protein healthy carb thing that I was doing. And sorry I'm talking past tense, like I still am doing this. So yeah, that's what I did, and that's something that I've been able to stick to really well. I've been able to keep that commitment to myself. There were like on Sunday, this past Sunday, I probably kind of got into a bit more of a binge mentality, and like I was kind of beating myself up about that for a bit, but then I went back to focusing on that inner change. I watched some motivational videos, I wrote in my journal, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna keep moving forward. It's not gonna hold me back. So yeah, those are the specific goals that I set after making inner change. And then anytime that I felt like keeping those goals was hard, or like, oh, I just want to eat a ton of food right now, then I went back to focusing on that inner change. Why am I feeling this way? I need to change the way that I'm looking at food right now. And they just really complemented each other really well, like the inner change and the goals. So after making these specific goals, then I made sure that, so this is number 3. Number 3 was I made sure that my environment was conducive to those goals. So the first thing that I did was I made sure that I had the healthy foods I needed in my kitchen. And that they were foods that I liked too, that I wasn't just buying like kale. I hate kale. So I wouldn't, like, why would I buy kale to have in my kitchen? Gross. So I made sure that I had like frozen broccoli. I love frozen broccoli, cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, apples. My parents got me some Quest protein powder, like a ton of Quest protein powder for my birthday, and I love that stuff. I found these really good protein bars at Costco that's like a knockoff of Quest bars that Costco makes. So I always have those. So yeah, that I had what I needed to have easy, healthy meals, like on the go. I kind of am on the go a lot with school, so it was important to have food. Like, it wouldn't be realistic for me to get like a bunch of like ingredients where I had to spend like 30 minutes putting together a meal, because that just wouldn't be realistic for me. So I made sure that my kitchen was conducive to my lifestyle and my goals. The next thing that I did was my husband and I have this room in our apartment that we'd been using for an office, but literally it just turned into a giant junk pile where we like just threw all of our stuff whenever we had people coming over to get it out of the way. So I spent like a good couple of weeks like de-junking it and turning it into a little home gym, which has been super awesome. Like, that's usually where I do more of my strength exercises now. My parents also got me like an aerobic step, like, typical 80s aerobic step for my birthday, which has been really awesome to have, like, to get some quick cardio in, or like I'll use it for different like balancing and push-up exercises. And then another thing that I did, and then there were just like other little things I did to make my environment more conducive to my goals, keeping in mind like where I struggled. For example, one place that I struggle is during homework. Like, I can just eat and eat and eat because I'm just stressed and just trying to get through it. So I could just, I don't know, like eat every food, all the food that we had in our apartment, like so easily. So what I did was I bought some little cheap tubs of Play-Doh, so like I have something to do with my hands while I'm doing homework. Kind of helps relieve the stress. And then another really important thing that I did to create a conducive environment was I got a notebook. And so every day I write down what I eat. I don't write down calories except for on Sunday. But just having it like visually blocked out, like what time I ate and what I ate, I can keep track of, like just making sure that I'm keeping a healthy attitude towards food, and just having like a way to be accountable to myself. Then I also have a section for exercise, which is really helpful for me, like to keep track of the progress that I've made. And then most importantly for me is that I have a thought section. So whenever, which goes back to that interchange, right? So whenever I feel like I'm struggling, I can write out my thoughts, talk about like, oh, I feel like eating like a gallon of ice cream right now. Like what emotions am I feeling? Why do I feel this way? I'm feeling really down on myself today. This is why. I'm feeling really good about things today. Here's some realizations I had about food and about my body and about the changes I'm making. So that's been really, really helpful. Yeah, and that about sums it up. I'm sorry if I like rambled on for forever. I just wanted to kind of share the basics of the changes that I made. And I mean, honestly, I could talk about this for hours and hours, like all the insights I've had. But don't you worry, there will be more videos to come. And I promise not all of them will be this boring of me just like sitting and talking and drinking Dr. Pepper. So go ahead and give me a thumbs up down there if you liked what I had to say. If you didn't, let me know why. And go ahead and subscribe so you can be notified when more awesome videos are headed your way. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Have an excellent rest of your day. See ya.